I bet you're getting pretty excited about the idea of creating your own digital products. If you're like a lot of aspiring business owners, this part of the process is even better than being a kid on Christmas morning. Or is it? Because some folks get a little nervous about product creation. If that sounds like you, relax. You have options. You can do it yourself, or you can hire someone else to do it for you. Depending on what kind of product you need, you may even be able to buy the resale rights to a quality product. Whichever option you choose, you'll end up with some pretty darn good products to sell. So, if you're looking at producing unique products, then the first thing we need to do is figure out if you should create the products yourself or outsource them. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer them and keep track of your answers. Okay, first question. Do you have the skills needed to create the product? The answer, of course, depends on what type of product you're creating. This might be text products like ebooks, audio products like podcasts, or a video product, or even apps or software. You have to be careful here that you don't overestimate or underestimate your skills. For example, you don't need to be a world-class writer with a language arts degree in order to create a solid text product. If you can get good information across in an entertaining way, then you have what it takes to write an ebook. On the other hand, don't overestimate your abilities. For example, don't tackle a complex app if you're in the process of learning how to code. You're likely to make some time-consuming and expensive mistakes, some of which may even endanger your users' computers. Finally, keep in mind that you may be able to do some parts of the product yourself while hiring others to take care of the more complex pieces. For example, you can write an ebook and then hire a good editor to make your masterpiece shine. Okay, next up. Second question to ask yourself, how much would it cost you to create the product yourself? Whoa, a lot of people look at creating their own products to save money. They'll tell you it's free to create your own product. But you know what? That's not true. Because for every minute you spend creating your own product, you could be doing something else in your business. So you have to consider an opportunity cost. So let's do a quick calculation to see how much it really costs for you to create a product yourself. Yes, there is a little math involved, but I promise it's not hard and you won't be graded. Okay, first let's figure out how much your time is worth. You can do this by taking your current yearly salary, or you can do the calculation based on your annual income goals. So let's say your goal is to make $100,000 this year. Next, ask yourself how many hours you intend to work this year in order to achieve those goals. Let's say you decide to work 40 hours per week for 50 weeks of the year. We take 40 hours times 50 weeks and we come up with a total of 2,000 working hours in a year. Now it's really simple to figure out how much your time is worth. Simply take your yearly income and divide the number of hours worked in a year. So for this example, we take $100,000 and divide it by 2,000 hours. In this case, your time is worth $50 an hour. That's just an example, of course, as your mileage may vary. Insert your own numbers to figure out what your time is worth. But now you need to get a rough estimate of how long it would take to create a product, and that will tell you how much it costs you to do it yourself. For example, if you figure a product would take 30 hours to complete and your time is worth $50 an hour, then it costs you $1,500 to create the product. You may find that a freelancer can do it for less cost. Now, this brings us to the next question. How long would it take you to create the product? It's a good idea to know the answer to this question so that you can figure out how much it costs to create a product yourself. But you'll also want to know the answer because it'll tell you how long it'll take to get a product to market. Now, you need to assess yourself honestly at this point. Sure, if you sat down and worked straight through until a product is complete, it would take X number of hours, days, weeks, or months. But tell me, will you actually sit down and work that diligently? Or will you procrastinate and lose focus and make mistakes which will waste time as you fix them? Are you good with self-motivation? How would you rate yourself with time management and productivity? Would you enjoy creating the product? And if you wouldn't enjoy it, would that further hamper creativity and productivity? Point is, if you're as flaky as a snowstorm when it comes to focusing on a big project, then the do-it-yourself option might not be for you. So there you have it. If you answer the questions presented in this video honestly, you're going to have a pretty good idea of whether you should create this product yourself or outsource it to a qualified professional. So set some time aside right now to figure out what it costs to create products yourself, and whether you have the skills and focus to do it. Then check the recommended resources section on this site for tools and resources to help you with the product creation process.